Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of Doreen Virtue Avenue. This is going to be a video series that's going to be 5 or 6 videos going through all of my Doreen Virtue decks. I thought that this would be actually really fun to do um, because one, I still use her decks. I still use like the majority of them. Some of them I simply just bought to have the whole collection. But I'm going to, yeah, just be going through Doreen Virtue decks. I will say this is not, I'm not really going to super talk about her conversion a whole lot. I have videos about that. If it comes up, I'll maybe allude to it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, those videos are on my channel. And also, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you've probably been living under a rock. But if you don't, that's totally fine. Not everybody was into her as I was. So there are videos on my channel all about that. Just search Doreen Virtue on my channel, and you'll have a million of them. Um, this first video is going to be 6 decks. I'm going to go through 6 decks with you all, and yeah, I just thought it would be something fun and something super interesting to do. Um, like I said, I still use her decks. My reading, the spiritual team reading, still uses Doreen Virtue decks. And that's a reading a shameless plug because if you're watching this, then you have some interest in the woo woo stuff. It is a reading that tells you the dragon, the angel, the goddess, the ascended master, the keeper of the light, the animal spirit, and the crystal spirit that is with you. And I tried doing the reading without the Doreen Virtue decks, and it just didn't sit right. It was still accurate, but it just didn't feel as good. So that's why I put her decks back in the reading. And it's just one of my favorite readings ever to do. So you can book that either in the link in my bio if you're watching this on Instagram, or at the link in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. So we're going to start with the very first Doreen Virtue deck that I ever purchased, and that is the Archangel Power Tarot. The light is kind of getting it right there. There we go. I purchased this deck at Barnes and Noble at Triangle Town Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. Um, it was the New Age section was up the escalator and like 3 rows back on the left. I spent a lot of time there. So this is the box for the deck, and I found Dorian Virtue because I actually was reading Teresa Caputo, the Long Island Medium. I was reading her book, and she was talking about angel numbers, and I started seeing them a lot, and I started researching them more. And Dorian Virtue is huge, and it was huge in the world of angel numbers, and so that naturally just led me to her. And so this was the first deck that I ended up purchasing. And I purchased it because I was very uneasy about traditional tarot. So I was like, I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I want to, go into the world of traditional tarot just yet. So I bought the Archangel Power Tarot, and that was it. This deck is no longer in print, and I will say a lot of these decks are no longer in print. So that is, if you get pissed off looking at decks that are no longer in print, you may want to vamoose out of this video. But if you're just like, okay, cool, you want to watch, then you can watch with me. So while this version of the deck is no longer in print, there is a version with just Bradley Valentine's name on it. So go and support him because this deck is great. I actually had the app version of this deck. I used it a lot. So we're just going to go through some of the cards. So this is the guidebook for it. And the guidebook is pretty, so this is the Major Arcana. The guidebook is great. It's always great for her decks, for the Radley and Doreen tarot decks. So you have the card, you have the additional meanings, and then you have about the angel if you're looking at the Major Arcana. For the trying to find one that has them on both sides so you can see without having to turn the page. Oh, here we go. So for the Four of Gabriel, they don't give reverse meanings. So the deck is not meant to be read reversed. And then you have the additional meanings of the card right here. So the guidebook is great. If you can hear trash outside my window, sorry. Apparently I always want to record videos like on trash day, and I don't know what it is about the universe that like I I cosmically align with garbage. But I'm not sure what it is, but you know, it is what it is. So just going through a few of the cards, this is the Ten of Gabriel. So in this deck, so if you're a beginner and you're kind of like iffy about like tarot, it's really good to start with an angel deck, with a with a rather Valentine deck now. They're very, very good. The energy is really good with them. So Raphael becomes Cups, Swords become Michael, and Pentacles become Ariel. And one thing I like about these decks, especially for beginners, is that they have keywords on them. So you don't have to really worry about getting something wrong if you're using these in a reading, which I really, really love. This one of these has Louise Hay on it. I've got demons going on, but that's okay. It doesn't hurt anything at all. And these are the major arcana cards. So this is the World. That's Archangel Michael. So each of the major arcana cards is attributed to a archangel. So the Chariot is Archangel Metatron. And Decision, which is the Devil card, is Archangel Jophiel. Two of Gabriel was the first card I drew from this deck. So yeah, I really like this deck. One thing you're going to notice, this deck has gilding on it. Hay House no longer does gilding on decks, and I'm pretty sad about it. But I heard that it was for the environment, so that's fine. But I'm honestly still really sad about it, because gilding I feel like protects the deck a lot more. Because now that I've noticed that Hay House doesn't do gilding, some decks come and they're damaged, and on the sides, like it's peeling. This is the backing of, so we have Gabriel, Raphael, Michael, and Ariel right here. And you can still buy this. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on Hay House's website. I'm fairly certain of that. Now, the decks that I'm going to show you from here on out, if you can find these decks at a reasonable price, you might want to snatch them up if you like them. I do have another copy of the Archangel Power tarot cards with Doreen Virtue's name on it, and they are not open; they are still sealed. And I also still have an unopened copy of the Ascended Masters Oracle as well, that I don't plan on opening. So we're going to look at so this is the deck that I said I wasn't going to talk about her conversion, and I'm not. But this was like the first work that she said that was not good, was the Archangels and Ascended Masters book and the Ascended Masters Oracle, which is honestly one of my favorites. So I don't know what that says about me. But you have the card, you have the meaning, you have additional meanings, and then you have about the Ascended Master. So in this case, Athena, you have Mother Mary, um, you have Ganesh. So there's a lot going on in this deck, and it's an amazing one. Um, and so this is the backing of the cards. And this is Archangel Michael on the back. This is the only thing I don't like about this deck, is the backing. Because the Archangel Michael Oracle, that she has this same image on it, or this same image on it. And I'm just not a huge fan of it being used across, but whatever. Not that it really matters, because, you know, this deck is never going to see the light of day again, and as far as the publishing company goes. So I'm trying to get it to where you won't see the light. Lakshmi, Lady Nada, Green Man, White Buffalo Calf Woman, Serapis Bay, and now Cal Gray is writing a book about Ascended Masters, and I'm super excited about it. That's my cat. I don't know what she's wanting. Probably food. Horus, fertility, crystals, Kuan Yin, trust. I'm not gonna go through all of these. Saint Francis, Apollo, Merlin. I like the Merlin card a lot. Open your heart to love, Jesus. Yeah, so if you can find this deck, I think the last time I saw this deck was going for a couple $100. um, which if I paid that much for a deck, which I don't think I ever have, um, I would not want to use it. So, I mean, if you bought that, it would just purely be a collector's thing. Saint Germain. Like when I found out that they were discontinuing the deck, I was able to sneak one in and order one. Mother Mary, Thoth, Ganesh, Positive Change. You can do it. Isis. I love Isis. Osiris. Moses. Like the camera's reversed, so you're just gonna have to deal with me being like this a lot because I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. Then we have Paul the Venetian. So yeah, I love this deck. This is the deck that I use to find out what Ascended Master is with you in the spiritual team reading. So you'll get a reading with a deck that's no longer in print. How fancy are you? The same goes with the next two decks that I am going to show you. So this is the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. I love, love, love this deck. I think that it is just a powerhouse deck, honestly. Um, you have the inside as pink. And like I said, if you can find any of these decks, then live your best life. But this is just like a walk down, instead of memory lane, it's memory walk down Doreen Virtue Avenue. My guidebook is kind of tearing. This is the guidebook for the deck, and this is basically so boundaries, a message from Ishtar, so a channeled message, various meanings, and then about Ishtar or about any the goddesses that you see in this deck. Once again, gilding, which is no longer a thing, no longer happens. This is the back, the little crowns. So this is Abundancia. We're gonna there we go. Irene. And I will say there's a lot of other goddess decks out now. So if you feel drawn to a goddess deck, Colette Baron Reed has a really good goddess deck. And Stacey DeMarco does, and Alana Fairchild has a Kuan Yin, a Mother Mary, and an Isis deck. But I really like this deck. This is one I use in the spiritual team reading. Butterfly Maiden. I'm trying to get like the perfect angle. There we are. Well, maybe. Okay, let me see if I can. No? Okay, that's fine. So we have Sig, Diana, Pele, Maeve from like Westworld, Isolt, Anya, Anya, Vesta, White Terra, and I'm not going to show you all of them. We have Aphrodite, we have Yamaya, Brigit. She also has a book called Goddesses and Angels. It's a really good book. Lakshmi comes up again. Some of the, I'm not sure which one was published first. I'll have to look in the guidebooks and see later, but a lot of these, like there's a lot of them in the Ascended Masters deck as well. So Unog, Ostara. So some of them make double appearances. Coventina. This is actually one of my favorite pictures of Isis. Like, I love it. Sarasvati. Since we talked about Ishtar. Bast. And then we have Athena. And we have Artemis. So, yeah, just a little glimpse into the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. If you like this video, before I go into the next three decks, if you like this video and you want more of them, if you like this video and you're like, yes, I want to see more, like I'm interested in these, like, I like watching decks, then let me know. Some people, like I said, I got chewed out one time because I showed a deck that was no longer in print. Um, so, like that's why I gave the warning at the beginning of the video. If you don't like decks that are no longer in print, then leave. um, I have three more decks to show you. And so this is the Archangel Oracle card. So this is the other deck by Doreen Virtue that I use in the spiritual team reading. This one has seen a lot of use. And for some reason, this one's not gilded. So I think this might have been one of the first few that she published with Hay House. With the Healing with the Angels, the Healing with the Fairies, and the Archangel Oracle cards, because none of those are gilded. But also the Unicorn deck, and there's some other ones that aren't gilded as well. So maybe the more popular she got, they decided to reward her with gilding. So Archangel Oracle cards, and then she has a book called Archangels 101. And a lot of her books, if you're interested, because her books are still valid, the information is still valid, the card decks are still valid. She has a lot of books on Kindle and a lot of books on Apple Books still. So go and look for those, and you should be able to find them, no problem. So the guidebook for this one is fairly tiny, because each card just kind of bleeds into the next one. Each card doesn't have a particular page, so just kind of how it works. Let's see. So you can see this deck has been used. It's a little bowed, and I think there's even a couple cards that have some love marks on them. This is the back, and so we're going to just look at them. So we have Spread Your Wings, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Michael, Crystal Clear Intentions. So this deck in the spiritual team reading is telling you which archangel is with you. And like I said, I'm not going to go through all of these, otherwise it would be an hour-long video. I do really like this one, the Chakra Clearing card with Archangel Metatron. I like that one a lot. That was a very good card. You Are Safe is an okay card. I feel like Archangel Michael's face, if I can get it to focus, is a bit weird. It's not going to focus. It focuses when I don't want it to. There we go. Or a little bit. Whatever. Take Back Your Power, Archangel Raziel. Let's see. Spiritual Understanding, Archangel Raziel. We have Leadership with Archangel Gabriel. The title card, Outdoors with Archangel Jophiel. Sensitivity with Archangel Haniel. Let's see what else we have. Clear Your Space with Archangel Jophiel. My favorite picture of Archangel Haniel. Moon Cycles. Creative Writing, Archangel Gabriel. Then we have Courage, Archangel Ariel. So like I said, if you can find any of these decks still, then by all means, like, go for it. Clairvoyance with Archangel Raziel. But until then, if you can't find the deck and you would like to still have a reading with it, I got you covered. Counselor. If you also are kind of called to learn more about the angels, I have a program on Patreon called Angels and You. And it is all about the angels. It is, we are going to be studying Archangel Michael in the month of May. It is April 27th as I am filming this, Angel Therapy. So sign up for that. And if you sign up, you get access to previous months of content. So do that. And prosperity. So that was the Archangel Oracle cards. So I really, really love this deck a lot. And we are going to be going through all the archangels for the most part. And angels and you. So definitely some months we'll have 2 archangels, but for the most part we're going to be working on archangels. So yeah, join at the link in my bio or the link in the description. So since the angel therapy card came up, we're going to look at the angel therapy oracle cards next. By far, one of my favorites, one of my favorite decks, one of my favorite books. So I have the angel therapy book, I have the angel therapy handbook, and I have the angel therapy deck. And I was never able to take the angel therapy practitioner course, but I took the angel intuitive course, which is kind of the same thing, from what I heard, which was very great, very, very great. So shabam, the guidebook. Oh, if you get nervous, focus on service. So then it gives you, right here, it gives you the little blurb on the card. It tells you about the card. And then this one gives you action steps to like work on and work through. I mean, it's like that with every single card. So, and then it gives you the artists in the back. Let's see when this one was published. 2008. So 12 years ago. Did it say August or April? Or did it even say? It didn't say. So 12 years ago, this deck came out. That is insane. That's just so crazy. So on the back, this is the healing hands of Archangel Raphael. We have the gilding. We have integrity. I'll put the book back in box. Maybe. If I don't have to fucking knock everything over. Okay. Integrity. You are a powerful light worker. Because you are. Solar plexus chakra. Manifestation power. Yeah, I freaking love this. There's been a call for me lately to work with. She uses the same image for Archangel Michael a lot. To do some like angel energy healings. So that might be coming to my shop soon. Have you asked your angels for help with this? This is actually a very important card because angels cannot help you unless you ask for it. Shield yourself. You are profoundly clairvoyant because you are, my dear. Cut your cords. I have a free, well, not a free guide. I have a guide that you can get for a donation of any amount for energy check-ins and clearings. And I give you 3 methods to do that. It's awesome. Books. God box. Clear yourself. We have Archangel Raphael. We have Ascended Masters. We have singing and dancing. We have heart chakra. We have the third eye chakra. So a lot of these cards deal with things that would come up in like an angel therapy session, um, like healing addictions, and things like that with the angels, um, like feeling like you're blocked in your success. Listen to your intuitive feelings, vacuum away fear, law of attraction, past life issue, fairies, ear chakras, cancel, clear, delete, twin flame, my least favorite card in this fucking deck. I hate twin flame anything. Parents. I'm actually thinking about not using that deck, not using that card, but I don't think there's another deck. There's another card in here, mediumship. That there's another card in here that talks about relationships. So I might just keep it, but just ignore the twin flame part. Power animal. Throat chakra. Goddess. Sacral chakra. And then we have, if you get nervous, focus on service. So I love, love, love the Angel Therapy Oracle cards. I remember they used to have an app, but the makers of the makers of the app, or like the developers of it, just decided, or Hay House decided to part ways with them. I can't remember which one it was, but either way, I think Hay House stopped working with that developer because they were going to develop their own apps. And so once it reached a certain iOS, like iOS 10 or 11 on iPhone, the apps stopped working. And when I got my new phone, I tried to download the apps and they immediately just crashed. Like they wouldn't work, which was very sad because I had like almost all of them, like almost like I think she has like 34 decks, and I have them all, and I had the majority of them on the app too, which was great because I didn't have to carry them around with me. So that's never gonna happen again. So it's very sad, actually, super sad. This is actually her very first deck, Healing with the Angels. So she said that when she published this deck, that um, that Hay House like didn't know how good it would do, but like it was over the holidays, and so people just kept buying it and buying it and buying it, and so they just like kept having to produce it, which is awesome. And I do genuinely like really love this deck. So this is the guidebook, has little staples. It's just cute, and it has the same kind of setup. Like no card has the same like its own page. So then you have the card meaning, and then you have um, like a little blurb about the card. So and yeah, so you can also use the book as an oracle card. So just kind of opening it up and seeing where it takes you there. So yeah, we're going to take a look at this, and this will be the last deck for this edition of Down During Virtue Avenue. And this is also kind of healing for me, and I hope that it's healing for anybody watching, because it lets you know that the work she did was still valid and the work she did was still inspired, and it's okay to still use her decks. So if that's what you get from this, then that's what I want you to get from it, and just you go on and live your best life. No gilding, or maybe gilding wasn't a thing when this deck first came out. What year did this deck come out? Because I actually bought this deck secondhand, 1999. So I got this deck. I might have even traded for this deck. I can't remember. I've had it forever. This is the back. So yeah, we have answered prayers. We have serenity, dreams. I have to just do it like this. Ideas and inspiration, support. We have celebration. I've actually had some profound readings with this deck, with all of her decks. New love, music, enchantment, balance, nature, Archangel Michael, abundance. So you can tell this deck is uh, very much different art styles, which a lot of her decks are, but it's way more apparent in this one. But it was also her first deck, so I'm actually like, I don't use this deck too much because I don't want to mess it up, because you cannot get this deck anymore. And I have a feeling if you were going to trade someone for it, or for any Doreen Virtue deck, they would price gouge the fuck out of you. So, spiritual growth, healing, manifestation, study, forgiveness. And she is not looking like she wants to forgive anybody. Miracles, friendship, intention, truth and integrity, self acceptance, divine guidance, and surrender and release. So, yeah, I love this deck. I love it a lot. It actually took me quite a long time to I'm pretty sure I traded for this one and the healing with the fairies oracle. I'm pretty sure I traded decks for both of those, but those were our first two, to my knowledge. And I love the decks. I love all of her decks. There's only a couple that I'm like, okay, like I have this just simply because you made it, and I want to have um, all of those. But you'll see those that I'm talking about in a later video. Um, but yeah, so that was the first episode, first installment, first video, whatever, of Down Doreen Virtue Lane. I hope that you enjoyed taking that little jaunt down memory lane with me. And yeah, so let me know what you thought about this video. Do you still use Doreen Virtue decks? And if you do, which ones? And did you not use them for a while and now you use them, or did you never stop? So tell me your experiences with them. Keep it positive in the comments. Keep it full of love. We don't want to bash anybody. We don't want to hate on anybody. I know I have videos like Doreen Virtue's canceled and stuff where I was pissed off at her, and I still don't like what she did. But we're going to take a different approach now, and we're going to be positive, and we're going to talk about how much we loved the work that she did and how it still impacts, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people. Um, and how it still helps me with my clients. And her decks are phenomenal, and she was a force of nature. So yeah. So let me know what you think about this. Give me a like, subscribe down below, give me a thumbs up, and go book a reading on my website. And I will talk to all of you later. Love and light.